I'm Sasha Bult-Ito, and I'm the piano artist faculty at the Emerald Coast Chamber Music Festival. I grew up in Alaska. I've lived in Michigan, and I'm currently in Toronto. That would have to be tied between Japan and Italy. They both have such good food. I had a really big fascination with Brazil when I was younger, and I definitely still want to visit. Spain's pretty high on my list too. I love sketching and crocheting and board games. Definitely cooking or baking. I really love being in the kitchen. Reading, watching Studio Ghibli movies. Yeah. There's so many I could name. For a short list, I'd probably have to say Lara Auerbach, Howard Blake, and Missy Mazzoli. Oh, this is always changing. Right now I'd have to say Schumann, Mozart, Rachmaninoff, and Chausson. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Mitsuko Uchida's recordings of the Mozart Piano Concerti, James Ennis and Andrew Armstrong's Beethoven Violin Piano Sonatas, and a smattering of Bartók works. For pianists, I've listened to a lot of Martha Argerich, Mitsuko Uchida, Angela Hewitt, one of my biggest mentors, John Perry, cellist Jacqueline Dupre, Fischer Dieskau's Schubert Lieder recordings were a big one growing up. I could keep going for a while, really. I guess if I had to come up with one, trust yourself, be confident, and make sure to take care of yourself. Probably, yeah. Always been a Slytherin. I probably would have gone into neuroscience if I hadn't been able to pursue music. I've always been fascinated by the brain. I've been a bit of a science nerd my whole life. I remember when my dad wasn't preparing his next lecture, I would steal his teaching textbooks for human anatomy and physiology all the time. Probably scrubbing the floor. The sound of stepping in the snow in the winter. Growing up in Alaska, I've always loved that kind of crunchy sound you get. I know a lot of people hate it, but I absolutely love it. Weed whackers and squeaky car brakes. Ugh. It's a photo of the 2 cats I had growing up. Probably email, depending on the situation. I wish I had learned earlier that it's okay to say no to things sometimes, especially if doing so would make sure I took care of myself fully. I definitely learned the hard way on that one. I made myself really sick for a week because I just was not saying no to things. And it's never bad to put yourself first. There's really only one you, so you gotta take care of yourself. I'm not sure I have anything in particular. I think the valuable lesson for me would have to be that if there's something I missed, something I didn't or I couldn't do, it's not going to be the end of being able to do what I want to do. I think learning to be okay with not being able to do everything is really okay, and a lot of times you can work hard and find something even better for yourself later on. Especially if you know exactly what you want to be doing in music, be confident in it. If you play an instrument that's often assumed or expected to do something very specific, have a very specific role, such as being an orchestral musician, and you don't want to do that, stick to what you want to do. You can pave your own way. You don't have to be shoved down a path that you really don't want to go down, just because that path is what's expected for your instrument. Also, don't be afraid of trying new things. Work with instruments you might never have thought of working with. Learn, non-standard or quirky repertoire. Maybe get a lesson with someone that doesn't play your instrument. We've worked hard to create a program that has a strong day-to-day structure that doesn't feel overloaded or stifling over the course of the program. We have our intensive music activities, from chamber rehearsals and coachings to masterclasses and outreach, but we also want students to have time for personal practice, getting to interact with each other and our guest artists outside of rehearsal classes and such, and getting time to explore the beautiful surrounding area. We've also worked to implement aspects of festivals that we, as the Velox Quartet, have been a part of either together or separately, that we feel have worked really well, and also striving to improve on the aspects and areas that may not have felt quite as effective. And one of our big points is to establish a sense of community, not competition.